Dr. Chinyere A. Ugoji, MD, MBA, in the Electronic Residency Application Service 2015, updated licensing documentation, graduate medical education experience in current clinical practice and graduate medical education, Masters in Public Health, Course Social and Behavioral Sciences at Capella University, Minneapolis, Minnesota, the American Mock Interview Season 2015, a public health project on sexual violence, domestic violence, child abuse as a public health continuum with the University of Texas Southwestern Medical Center, Dallas, Texas, a pediatric research with my 3-year-old son, Kingston Eke, welcoming you to Dr. Chiquito Mentoring Iridescence Educational Global Collaborative Ustream YouTube show, a Reach Higher and Let's Move initiative of the First Lady of the United States of America, First Lady Michelle Obama. Today, the 28th of January, it's approximately 7:23, and I apologize for the late broadcast due to technical glitches. I would like to invite you to read some quotes by the President of the United States of America, President Barack Obama, on the White House internship, and the First Lady of the United States of America, First Lady Michelle Obama, on the Reach Higher and Let's Move on the Reach Higher initiative, and a quote by me on graduate medical education and recommendations by graduate medical educators on my Accreditation Council of Graduate Medical Education core competencies. Next we'll go to the next section of the show, which is the modified St. Louis University Mental Status Examination, which is a fun activity which we normally perform on this show. I also want to apologize for the cancellation of the broadcast on Tuesday due to some technical updates that were performed. So with that, we'll go to the modified St. Louis University Mental Status Examination. It's a fun activity, and I hope you have a copy of it. If not, please feel free to contact me to have a copy. From time to time in graduate medical education, it's normal for you to be required to perform this activity, which is also part of Accreditation Council of Graduate Medical Education core competency. So the first section is your name, and my name is Dr. Chinyere A. Ugoji, MD, MBA. Your age, and my age is 33. Is the patient alert? That's yes for me. Level of education, that's graduate school for me. What day of the week is it? Today is a Wednesday. What states are we in? This is Texas. And then the next question is please remember these 5 objects. I'll ask you what they are later. An apple, a pen, a tie, a house, and a car. Then the next question is you have $100 and you go to the store and buy a dozen apples for $3 and a tricycle for $20. How much did you spend? The answer to that is $23. And then the next question is how much do you have left? And that is $77. Then the next question is please name as many animals as you can in 1 minute. And if you name 0 to 4 animals, you get a point of 0. 5 to 9 animals, you get a point of 1. 10 to 14 animals, you get a point of 2. And 15 plus animals, you get a point of 3. And then the next question is what were the 5 objects I asked you to remember? and you get 1 point for each one correct. So the objects were an apple, a pen, a tie, a house, and a car. Then the next question is, I'm going to give you a series of numbers and I would like you to give them to me backwards. For example, if I say 42, you should say 24. So 87, that would be 78. 649, that would be 946. 537, that would be 7358. And then the next question is, this is a clock face. Please put in the hour markers and the time at 10 minutes to 11 o'clock. So if you can perform that activity, I encourage you to perform that activity. And then the next question is, please put an X in the triangle. So I encourage you to perform that activity. The next question is, which of the above figures is largest? And I encourage you to perform that activity. Then the next one is, I'm going to tell you a story. Please listen carefully because afterwards I'm going to ask you some questions about it. Jill was a very successful stockbroker. She made a lot of money on the stock market. She then met Jack, a devastatingly handsome man. She married him and had 3 children. They lived in Chicago. She then stopped work and stayed at home to bring up her children. When they were teenagers, she went back to work. She and Jack lived happily ever after. What was the female's name? Well, the female's name was Jill. What work did she do? She was a stockbroker. When did she go back to work? When they were teenagers. What state did she live in? Well, she lived in Chicago, and the state is Illinois. So for the scoring system is listen, and I encourage you to take this fun activity from time to time as an exercise in the mental status examination. So today we are going to talk about a case study. And we have a 33-year-old Asian female with the chief complaint of uterine contractions and a headache. So today we talk about pregnancy and pre-eclampsia. And I have a PowerPoint question which is designed to help us understand these topics. And for the interactive version of this PowerPoint question, please contact me for that. So pregnancy, what is pregnancy? Well, it can be defined as the development of an embryo or fetus in the uterus of a woman. It's also commonly defined as the fertilization, the implantation, the development, and also the fertilization, implantation, and development. So it's pretty controversial. And then what is pre-eclampsia? This refers to new onset hypertension with proteinuria and or end organ damage in a pregnant woman after 20 weeks of gestation. So the key points are new onset hypertension, proteinuria or end organ damage, and also in a pregnant woman and after 20 weeks of gestation. So those are the key words about preeclampsia. And the key words about pregnancy is development of a uterus. of a fetus or embryo, and then also in the uterus of a woman, or the implantation, the fertilization, implantation and development. So which is the other definition. So another key thing that you have to know about about preeclampsia includes preeclampsia, which we just talked about a few minutes ago. Eclampsia, which refers to grand mal seizures in a pregnant woman, not related to any other neurologic disorder. And then the HELLP syndrome, and that is spelled H as in Harry, E as in elephant, L as in Larry, L as in Larry, P as in pot. So, and that's hemolysis, elevated liver enzymes, and low platelets, which actually is a severe form of preeclampsia, but the relationship remains controversial. Then you have chronic pre-existing hypertension, and this is actually defined as systolic blood pressure more than 140 mm mercury and a diastolic blood pressure more than 90 mm mercury on 2 different occasions, which antedates the pregnancy before the 20th week of pregnancy for at least 2 occasions, but persists longer than 12 weeks postpartum. So this actually so the key words is systolic blood pressure, with the definition of blood pressure like we know it, and then also it happens before the pregnancy, and also it's present before the 20th week of pregnancy for at least 2 occasions and persists more than 12 weeks postpartum. So that's why after 12 weeks, then you know that this is actually hypertension. And then the next one is preeclampsia superimposed upon chronic or pre-existing hypertension. So this is superimposed preeclampsia is defined by the new onset of either proteinuria or end organ dysfunction after 20 weeks of gestation in a woman with chronic pre-existing hypertension. So the woman has pre-existing hypertension, and then they now have new onset of either proteinuria or end organ dysfunction after 20 weeks of gestation. So that is why it's preeclampsia, because it occurs after 20 weeks of gestation, and also it's superimposed on chronic hypertension. And the next one is gestational hypertension, and this actually occurs. This is defined as during pregnancy. Gestational hypertension refers to hypertension without proteinuria or other signs and symptoms of preeclampsia that develops after 20 weeks of gestation. It should resolve by 12 weeks postpartum. If hypertension persists beyond 12 weeks postpartum, the diagnosis is revised to chronic or pre-existing hypertension that was marked by the physiologic decrease in blood pressure that occurs in early pregnancy. If hypertension resolves postpartum, the diagnosis is revised to transient hypertension of pregnancy. So this is hypertension without proteinuria or other signs or symptoms of preeclampsia that develops after 20 weeks of gestation. So this doesn't have the signs and symptoms of preeclampsia, and it occurs after 20 weeks of gestation, and it resolves by 12 weeks postpartum. So that's why it has the name gestational hypertension. So it's a double whammy, and you have to figure out where exactly a pregnant woman's symptoms could be what a pregnant woman's symptoms could be attributed to. So the next section we'll go to is epidemiology. How common is pregnancy and preeclampsia? Well, pregnancy, the birth rate is 12.6 per 1,000 of the population, and then for preeclampsia it's 4.6 with a 95% confidence interval between 2.7 to 8.2. So that's 4.6%. And this is of pregnancies worldwide. So on the next section is risk factors. What are the risk factors of having of having a pregnancy? Well, if you have a uterus, if you're a female, if you're sexually active, if you go through assisted reproduction, then those are your risk factors. For preeclampsia, the risk factors include maternal risk factors, age, race, having a first pregnancy,